Hello, everybody. Mr. Gazda here, review 58.
Are you ready?
Okay, here we go. So, New York State map provided below. Make a point. We're going to label it B at these coordinates. So what you want to do, and I'm going to use a ruler here, is you got to realize a few things. 43 degrees, 10 minutes north. So this is 43, that's 44, these are the degrees, and the key thing here, there are 60 minutes that subdivide these, okay? So that's halfway, it's marked halfway, that's 30, so I've got to kind of eye up where 10 would be. So I'm going to say it's about there maybe, and I'm going to draw a straight line. I'm going to use this here and there. If you do this in your reference table, use a pencil, don't use a pen. And you could just eye it up a little bit. I'm trying to be more exact. And then 75, 30 west. So 75 is here, and you got to realize they count up that way. So that's 75, 30. So I'm going to draw it like this, and I'm going to put my ruler there and there to get it pretty exact. Okay, and where they meet is point B. Make a nice big pointer there, and definitely label it B. Oftentimes people forget to label it, and that's bad. So that's B. C is now 42 degrees 30 minutes north and 77 45 minutes west. So 4230 is this line here, 4230. Okay, and I'm going to go like that. It's a little hard for me to get this straight. I can't get my head directly over it because the camera's in the way. And then 77:45. Again, 77 is here, and you got to realize that this is 77 and 30 minutes. So 45 is probably like right there. So I'm going to kind of do that. I'm going to go like this, and then that should be C. Okay, and you want to be very as exact as accurate as you can, because the way they get graded is by putting this over it. And your dots must be within this circle. Center your dot within the circle there. So, okay, so that's how they get graded. It's like the standard for grading of these. So that is the first one. Number two, ask the question. Please read the top part here. They're usually not that exciting, but necessary. The key thing here is that it shows from the North Pole looking down. It shows the lines of longitude every 15-degree intervals. So you should recognize that 15 degrees of longitude, that is the width of each time zone, okay? And each time zone is 1 hour. So I guess the idea is this is noon, and now what time is it going to be here? What is the time difference? Oh, it's just a time difference. So it doesn't really say what time is it. What's the time difference between point A and point B? So it is 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour time difference. You also could count this way. So it is answer 3 hours. You must have hours on there. If you just write 3, that's not appropriate because it could be 3 days, months, minutes, seconds, etc. Okay. On the field map below, draw the following isolines. You got to draw 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. You should be using a pencil with those. I think you know how to do it. I'm just going to show you the answer right here just to save some time. And some of the things, just be careful of sometimes errors are made here, errors are made here. So just check it to make sure that you're in a good spot. Okay. On the next one, okay, this also, make sure you read this. People often have trouble understanding, well, what exactly am I looking at here? And it's showing the Big Dipper, Little Dipper, Polaris is labeled, it's showing the horizon, so definitely read that. I'm not going to read it out loud. 5, on the diagram below, place an X at a point on the horizon to indicate true north. So, the key thing here is, and I like how they have this, this is the Big Dipper. If you don't have it so clearly, Polaris is labeled. Sometimes you have to label it. These are the pointer stars. They point out into the sky to Polaris, which is the last star in the handle of the Little Dipper. But basically the idea is this. When you're facing this way right here, place an X on the horizon, due north. So that is due north. It doesn't say label it, but I'm going to label it just so that will help you. Due north. Okay? And then 6. record to the nearest degree the altitude of Polaris if these constellations were observed from Slide Mountain in New York State. Now, I didn't put a line here, but let's say we would do it right there. The key thing for this is you don't know that at the top of your head. There's no way to know it. You got to look it up, and that is on the reference table. So you got to find the New York State map, and then you got to have to look around to find Slide Mountain. So you look around. There are some things, labels, towns, cities, locations. Slide Mountain is there. And they use that. It's exactly 42 degrees north latitude. You have to know that. So 42 degrees north latitude, the altitude of Polaris, if you measure how high that is in the sky, the angle between the horizon and Polaris, that would be, what am I doing? To the nearest whole degree, 42 degrees. That is the answer. That's the altitude. Not degrees north, 42 degrees above the horizon. So that would be the answer for number 6. But you do need the reference table for that. So let's go on to the back. The back goes like this. So here is a map. It says use this to answer questions 7 through 9. This is key. Contour intervals 20 feet. It says it up here. Okay. And sometimes it's even meters. So look around. It will give you key information. And here's the scale. Calculate the gradient of the slope between I and J on the map. Express your answer nearest tenth. That's 1 decimal. And correct. Label your answer with correct units. Also important. So. Key thing, gradient is the formulas on the front page of your reference table. Change in field value divided by distance. So, change in field value, I'm abbreviating it for sake of this video, distance, and the field value here is your elevation. So J, if they go by 20, it says by 20, so J is 220 feet, 220 feet. I is, you got to figure that out. That's 160 feet elevation. So the change there, 220 minus 160 is 60 feet. Then you need a piece of scrap paper, and you want to measure the distance between them. So you do that by going like this, mark that carefully, and then hold that down to the scale here. Now you notice that it ends up being, that's half a mile. That's 0.7 of a mile, I'm going to write it like this, 0.7 miles. Okay, key thing is the units. These do not cancel or simplify, so my answer will be feet per mile. And then, if you have a calculator, which I have one somewhere, I'll go over here and get one. I'm all the way over here. I'm coming back. Here, the calculator in hand. Here it comes. Okay, so let's do that. 60 divided by 0.7 equals that. It says round to the nearest tenth, 1 decimal. Question is, does that 7 stay a 7 or become an 8? That 1 makes it stay a 7, so the answer should be 85.7 feet per mile. And the rounding and stuff is important for these. Where it says to round, you got to make sure you do it as they say. So kids often mess that up. You don't want to be one of those. 8, state how the shape of the contour lines crossing Green River indicates that the river flows towards the southeast. Southeast. So if you look, Green River is telling you that it's flowing this way. Maybe draw on there. That'll help. It's flowing that way. That's the north-south. That's the southeast down there. So it's this shape here, right? We call them V's. We call them V's. And to indicate the contour lines, and you can say something like, maybe you'll do a better sentence. The V's, or how about this? I'm going to write it in a full sentence. You don't have to have this exact word, obviously. You're not going to. The contour lines, something like are V-shaped, and the V's point uphill or upstream, uphill, upstream, something that says that, basically. But you have to be, you can't just say they're V-shaped, and the V's point which direction. They point uphill. That's key. And then rounding it out, number 9, what's the elevation of point A? You have to recognize that these are the depression lines to show that's not the top of a hill. It's like a bowl shape. So the way this works is, so this is 60, 80, 100, and then what happens is this kind of goes up a little bit, but this is 100, and now we're going down by 20. So the elevation of A is 80 feet. 80 feet. Okay. So hopefully it helps you for the test. This is a good review. All right. I'm Mr. Gazette, and I approve of this review. Thanks for watching.